It's always an exciting time for our supporters. How much are you looking forward to kicking off our cup campaign?
Very much. Obviously, a competition that is very much attached to the successful history of this club. So tomorrow on Monday we have a good start, a good test.
Is there any fresh team news since the Newcastle game?
No more news.
What have you made of Oxford from what you've seen of them so far?
Well, it's always tricky. I played there a few times and I have experienced very difficult matches. So it will be difficult. We have to take the competition very seriously, the opponent very seriously, and play well to a higher level to win the match.
We'll be wearing our all-white kit as well as part of the No More Red initiative. How important a campaign is it for the club?
It's great. I think the support that the club has given to the community and vice versa, and the fact that we are constantly supporting this kind of things, I think is very important because it has kept a lot of people and especially young people safe in our community.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Please may I just start by asking you about the transfer window and whether there's any transfer updates for us this afternoon?
No updates, unfortunately, for you.
I did want to ask you about Madrid, but I'm assuming you're going to say there's no update. Okay, the second thing I wanted to ask you about was the club has now been charged with a breach of FA rules. I know you've got till Tuesday to respond to that, but is there anything you would say on that in the meantime?
No.
Okay. And onto the FA Cup, which I know you touched on there, is huge for Arsenal, such a big part of the club's history and so exciting. It's always a juggle, but you're going into it this year top of the league, so is it almost more of a juggle than ever? How do you kind of balance everything this year?
No, I think it's a competition that we are really looking forward to play, that brings huge memories to our football club, to the team, because recently, not many years ago, we won it, but as well we had experience of last year how we went out of the competition, so it's a competition that we really want to play and compete.
And I guess the ambition is there to win it again this year?
The ambition is to win on Monday first and then go slowly because it's a long run.
I know you touched on it there, but can you just chat to us a little bit more about Oxford and what you make of them as a side to come up against?
It will be difficult. What we've seen, obviously, they played in different ways, result-wise as well. They have a bit of everything, but it's a very special night, a special day. Everybody raised the level, and it will be tough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. A couple of questions. Firstly, Smith Rowe, there's a hope that he might be back for this game. On his position, and when you kind of see him coming back, we've seen that second midfield role that Jack has played in move a lot more further forward in the last year. He's occupying spaces that Smith Rowe was occupying on that left-hand side. Do you think that Smith Rowe therefore could fill in quite comfortably where Xhaka is playing right now?
Emil can play as an attacking midfielder or as a winger, even as a nine. I think he's played there before. First of all, we need him fit at his best, and when we have that, we have an incredible player that we have missed a lot in the last few months, and if tomorrow he trains well, he will be hopefully available to give us something in the game.
And just secondly, on the transfer, nothing on players, don't worry. But like the amount of spending that's gone on in the last years has got ramped up and ramped up and ramped up. Is there a frustration that it's preventing clubs like Arsenal maybe getting hold of players for the value you see them at?
I don't know, obviously valuations have to be met between the selling club and the buying club, and it is difficult, but as well it shows that there are a lot of clubs with a lot of financial power to spend big amounts, and we have to compete with them. So we have to be smart, we have to seek for good opportunities as well, and we have to be attractive for players. At the end, players decide where they want to play, and if they want to play for our club, this is great.
Nick?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
I know the reference was made to the charge from the Newcastle game, but after the match, some former players were saying they love the way you behave on the touchline, encouraging the players and driving them on. Some criticised you for going over the top and said it will have a negative effect on the team. What's your view on that debate?
I'm not part of that debate. I think publicly they can't have their opinions. I try to do my best for this football club, to defend it, to promote it, to play with the passion that I believe the game has to be played. And there are moments, it's not the same that I behave against West Ham or the game. Every game is special. If you look at every manager, they behave very differently regarding the circumstances. You cannot take the context out of a situation. I don't think that is fair, but that's me.
What
Here and in the pitch, it's me. I'm sorry for the good and the bad.
What is it you're mainly trying to achieve when you're giving instructions? Is it instructions? Is it encouragement?
Well, depending. The other day, he wasn't very focused on that. He was focused on other aspects.
Do you think it has an impact on the way the players feel, the way you behave?
That's not for me to say. I read a lot of time that this team is the mirror of the coach or the passion of this. I don't know.
So you're not going to change for anyone or anything? That's you?
That's me. And I will try all the time to be better. And for sure, whatever I do, if it's tomorrow, the next day, the next month, is to make the club stronger, my play is better, and play better, and win, for sure. So if I have to do something, I would do it. If I have to change something, believe me, I will look in the mirror myself and I will change it very quickly.
Has that changed in football? Because we didn't used to see managers on the touchline. When you played, did your managers, were they on the touchline?
Different, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to say. I remember a lot of managers. I had one in particular. It was incredible, but it's different. And there are moments, one manager is not the same 20 years later for the circumstances as well, not just the age.
I know, Mikel, you said you're not part of that debate, but what do you make of people criticising, perhaps how you act on the sidelines? Is that something that frustrates you or annoys you when you hear?
To be fair, I haven't read it, so we cannot. So, but criticize is negative or positive?
Maybe both. Maybe a bit of both.
Okay, because criticize is always negative. It can be as well very, very positive. I don't know.